In Tzu Chi's fourth decade of operations, emphasis was shifted to promoting a culture of humanity through the mass media. As early as its second year, Tzu Chi founded a bimonthly newspaper to publish stories of beauty and goodness. Years later, the Buddhist NGO went on air, sending out its messages via radio, television and the internet. These efforts were consolidated under the Foundation's mission of humanity, which is one of the 4 founding programs. The humanity objective is to faithfully document the Tzu Chi volunteers' work, whether in disaster situations, other times of need, or simply in everyday life. These images and writings, often done by volunteers themselves, will be passed on to future generations as a legacy of love and as a vehicle to bring about positive changes in the world today.
This archived footage, silent and blue-toned, was shot in September 1972, documenting the free healthcare provided by a clinic on Ren'ai Street in Taiwan's Hualien City. At around the same time, but half a world away in Munich, in West Germany, the Summer Olympics was overshadowed by terrorists breaking into the Olympic Village, taking Israeli athletes hostage and killing 2 of them who resisted. The world is a parallel universe of good and evil. In May 1973, Burkina Faso, then known as the Republic of Upper Volta, was in its 5th year of drought and became one of the poorest nations in the world. In the same month, the U.S. Senate committee began public hearings on the Watergate scandal. Meanwhile, in Taiwan, Super Typhoon Nora battered Taidong in southern Taiwan, causing widespread devastation. The Tzu Chi Foundation quickly hired coaches to evacuate disaster victims to safety and handed out aid supplies. This footage was also taken in May 1973. The dust may have settled, but history, faithfully recorded in these precious videos, will never be forgotten. Clearly, the kind of image we leave behind for our future generations will all depend on the decisions, great and small, we as a human race are making now.
世间啊，什么事情令人看到了安心又欢喜呢？当然是善与爱，有善有爱啦。这样的人生啊，我们看到了就很自然会安定人心。
An avid promoter of compassion and love, since its founding in 1966, the Tzu Chi Foundation has launched poverty alleviation programs, built hospitals, organized free clinics, and established schools and academies all over the world to instill the seeds of love and goodwill in people, especially young children.
人生啊，那就是清净无私，就如泉水一样的。不断涌出了清净的清水，要来洗涤呀人心的污垢，要洗涤呢，净化天下的人，也是呢，希望调和了普天之下的污染，有形与无形啊。
Through its monthly magazine, radio and TV channels, and internet websites, Tzu Chi takes on an active role to purify human hearts and in turn stabilize society.
我们不是为盈利，我们就是为使命啊！普天之下五浊恶世越来越污浊了啦。 人口越来越多，几十年来呢，已经人性本善的那一分的气氛呐，慢慢的被时间冲淡啦，被社会的污浊呢，已经呢污染了啦。 我们就要赶快呢，赶快来把回归过去。
The restoration of human hearts involves reinstating the traditions of ethics and morality and inspiring love, gratitude, and respect among people. As a legacy of love for future generations, Tzu Chi will continue to document the exchanges of love initiated by its volunteers and the warmth they deliver to the forgotten corners of this world.
The show, Tzu Chi's World, was first aired on a Taiwanese cable channel on December 1st, 1995. Later, Da-ai dramas based on true stories went on air. In the early days, staff worked without pay and volunteers helped finance some of the shows. Then Da-ai TV station was founded in 1998. But the drama didn't stop there. In the latest in our series of 45th anniversary reports, we look back at the history of Da-ai TV.
Da-ai TV is a channel for the whole family. In 2005, the TV station integrated with Tzu Chi's other publications to become the Tzu Chi Humanities Center. At the opening of the center, Master Zheng Yan sets down a plaque in the lobby, symbolizing Tzu Chi's role as a cornerstone for intellectual cultivation.
在这样的花祥地，慈济的花祥地的基地里，期待了我们四大志业为一体。
6 years ago, the Tzu Chi Humanities Center came into full operation with round-the-clock television and radio broadcasting and periodic publications, but it hasn't been all smooth sailing.
福田一方，标天下善事，心莲万蕊。
Tzu Chi's first television program, The Tzu Chi World, aired in 1995 on Taiwan's YouTube channel. It heralded the NGO's debut in the competitive broadcast media industry.
I resolutely objected to Master Zheng Yan's proposal for opening a TV station, but she insisted. I told her that enormous capital was needed. We're talking about a few billion NT dollars.
Liu Xinbai, who worked for Taiwan's Broadcasting Development Foundation, voiced his concern. However, the Tzu Chi founder was steadfast in her desire to spread the message of love through the mass media. She proposed turning the real-life stories of Tzu Chi volunteers into short series, which paved the way for the now widely popular Da-ai drama series. In 1998, Da-ai TV station was founded in Neihu and relocated to Nangang in the following year. In its 4th year of operation, an unfortunate disaster descended upon the media enterprise. In September 2001, Typhoon Nari caused heavy flooding, submerging the ground floor of the TV station, including the film library. He Jianming, the current vice CEO of Da-ai TV, there and then put together a team to lead and facilitate the digitization of the filming and post-production of all Da-ai shows, as well as computerized all video files.
We innovated a digitized production process for TV broadcasting. We were lucky to have found companies that wrote programs that fulfilled our needs.
In 2005, Da-ai TV became the first digital TV station in Taiwan. In the same year, the Tzu Chi Humanities Center was opened in Guandu, Taipei, to disseminate the seeds of goodness on the airwaves. Taiwanese actor You An-shun, who was in several of the Da-ai drama series, was so moved by the personal stories of Tzu Chi volunteers, he decided to sign up as a Tzu Chen trainee and was certified earlier this year.
While starring in Da-ai dramas, I came to a realization that a person can learn so much about him or herself, especially in times of need. Also, the mistakes in life are a gateway to your soul.
With a goal to effect a positive influence on society, Da-ai TV persevered through all kinds of tests and challenges, and during the 13 years since its inception, has garnered many TV and publication awards. Aside from its yearly nomination at Taiwan's Golden Bell Awards, Da-ai TV almost always comes tops in polls for positive and influential broadcasting companies in Taiwan.
Taiwan is a land of love and kindness, so if we can actively know these stories of selfless love to the public, we can inspire so many viewers out there. I think this is a goal that all can aspire to and support.
The liberation of Taiwan's media industry resulted in unrestrained media content. Da-ai TV's shows are like a current of pure goodness, an exemplar in quality, decent and responsible programming.
Swimming against the tide in Taiwan's sensationalist media environment, Da'ai TV has successfully touched the hearts of many, whether at home or abroad, inspiring its viewers to embrace the world with compassion and love. Over the years, Tzu Chi's work in the media has gone from printed news to reach the media of radio, TV, and the internet. In the United States, for example, one cable station plays an hour of Da'ai programming per day. The show has a devoted following among the Chinese-speaking community in California, where it is broadcast. And in Indonesia, Da'ai TV Indonesia has produced many popular programs watched by all people of all creeds. Da'ai TV also now makes its news available online, giving people worldwide an even easier way to find their daily inspiration in Tzu Chi's stories of love and compassion.
2011年民国百年元旦是大爱台13周年庆。
Using a magnifying glass to read her Tzu Chi monthly, 28-year-old Liang Xueli is blind in one eye and only has 5% vision left in the other. Despite the effort it takes her, Liang is a devoted reader of Tzu Chi monthly.
Every day I'll find 30 minutes or an hour to read it. It is part of my daily schedule.
Liang also uses her computer to watch Da'ai TV.
Every morning I will for sure watch Wisdom at Dawn, as well as in-depth news report with Tzu Chi. At night I usually watch Life's Wisdom. If I don't have the time at night, I will watch it the next morning. The Dharma that the Master speaks is my daily dose of wisdom.
Liang's vision started to fail when she was 18 years old. She has come to accept that fact since coming to Tzu Chi and learning of the law of cause and effect.
The conditions that I have to face in this life are the results of the karma produced in past lives. So I treasure each opportunity to give, because I don't know how much longer I will have before my vision goes completely. So whatever I can, I take every opportunity to do it.
In their determination to be able to watch Da'ai TV, this volunteer couple living in France has moved 3 times.
We used to live in an apartment building in Paris, but there was no way to install a satellite dish there, so we moved. The next place we installed one, but after a month we were asked to take it down.
Getting their Dharma nourishment daily from Da'ai, the couple leads the local community in keeping the streets clean and in recycling. In the United States, the cable station KTSF broadcasts a 1-hour segment of Da'ai programs daily. It also carries donation drive announcements on behalf of Tzu Chi in San Francisco and the Silicon Valley.
But what we've seen with Tzu Chi is that virtually all the money goes right to where it's needed. You know, when people are paying their own way to get to someplace, I think that's really impressive.
In Indonesia, Da'ai TV Indonesia broadcasts the popular series that follows the life of a man named Parakan. Based on actual events, the story follows the life of Parakan who, although poor, gives everything he has in order to educate disabled students. The series has been a hit with audience all over Indonesia, and is another example of how, since August 2008, Da'ai Indonesia has been continually overcoming religious divisions with its programming.
Hearing the voice of Sister Tzu Yun on the radio calms me down. In Taichung, there was a prisoner who donated stamps. I said to myself, if he can do it, then I certainly can.
From this realization, Huang Zhizhong began dedicating part of his life to helping others.
These days, everyone is anxious. We like to say that we make available for everyone a correct way of thinking and seeing.
In December of 2006, the UN headquarters in New York held a photo exhibition in which more than 80 of the exhibits came from Tzu Chi's very own Rhythms Monthly magazine. Several of these photos would later be chosen as the themes for UN commemorative stamps. From pictures, to words, to images, to voices, Tzu Chi continues to offer the citizens of the world hope and peace, as well as giving them the tools and power to transform themselves and their world. Tzu Chi television shows began in December 1995 with the airing of a one-hour program, Tzu Chi World, on the YouTube cable network. Today, the Dai channel broadcasts independently around the world 24 hours a day, and its influence continues to grow. In Taichung, Taiwan, 77-year-old Tzu Chi volunteer Zhu Yide cherishes every chance to watch Dai and has recorded all of its major shows since the first broadcast. Meanwhile, Malaysian Tzu Chi volunteer Lai Zhendong, who was bound to a wheelchair due to muscular dystrophy, was withdrawn from the world until one day he happened to see a Dai TV program and decided to start changing his life. Today, he not only supports himself but helps others through his volunteer work.
Watching Dai TV moves me to always pay attention to my heart and mind and not go astray.
Watching Dai TV, I feel every time there is a natural disaster, Tzu Chi volunteers always courageously go in.
I find the drama programs on Dai's TV channel very moving.
Dai TV programs not only stir people emotionally, but also move them to alter their values. In Malaysia, Lai Zhendong has been bound to a wheelchair for over 20 years due to muscular dystrophy. His lack of mobility also seemed to weigh down his heart, until one day when he happened to watch a Dai TV program on the internet.
Dai TV programs show us suffering from real stories, and Master Zheng Yan talks about many experiences of seeing suffering and understanding blessings. Learning about this, my own suffering is reduced, so I'm not so unfortunate.
Through watching examples of turning suffering into blessings, Dai TV audiences learn that to change one's heart and mind is to change one's own situation. Lai Zhendong stepped out of his own world of self-pity to become a Tzu Chi volunteer.
It's a joy to serve others. Making others happy also makes me happy.
Every day inside a small room, 77-year-old Zhu Yide cherishes his time watching Dai TV. Like Lai Zhendong, he too was moved by Dai programs.
Every day I record life wisdom and wisdom at dawn. On Saturdays I record essence of the Bodhi mind and the footprints of a Buddhist nun.
Mr. Zhu's treasure is a wall full of DVDs. Since the first broadcast in 1995, he has recorded every one of Dai TV's major programs and now has over 1,000 recordings.
I ran out of space for DVDs, so I put them in boxes. Now I have 5 or 6 boxes of DVDs. Sometimes I want to review something that I recorded in a program. I pull out the DVD and watch it again to remind myself, so that way the Buddha can enter my heart.
Master Zheng Yan funded Dai TV to transmit the truth into people's heart and combine community spirit and modern technology to reach out to a broader public. Bending her back head down while she sorts recyclables, Tzu Chi volunteer Ye Shuzhen is dedicated to preserving the environment. Previously, she was an alcoholic.
I used to start drinking every Friday evening until daybreak on Monday. Then I would ride my motorcycle home from Taoyuan.
Besides ruining her health, alcohol was also straining her relationships. Then Ye Shuzhen heard Master Zheng Yan speaking on Dai TV, which helped her to find the determination to quit drinking.
I never did anything good for myself other than choosing to get involved in Tzu Chi.
Through broadcasting programs worldwide about true life stories, Dai TV shows that truth, goodness and beauty can be found everywhere, and that the wheel of great love will never stop turning.